Shalom, first and foremost. Kala halal Yahawah, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great Muslim and rule well, and shalom to the elect. I wanted to speak on a conversation that I had with my fleshly father not too long ago. And inevitably, whenever I have spoken to my father, who I'm in contact with, and have a so-called good relationship with, but my father, he's in the world, okay, and as it is with people in the world, man, you gotta keep them at arm's length, okay, and I was having a conversation with him, and inevitably the conversation with me always turns into some form of spiritual conversation, because that's where my mind's at, and I can only supplant for so long. I don't really have too much patience for talking nonsense. And he told me something. He told me that when he was young, he would question whether he would constantly, what would be heavy on his mind, when he was like 13, 14. This is going back to the 60s, okay, and 70s, 60s, I'd say early 70s at that age. And something that was constantly on his mind was, is there a God? Is there a power? And that's something I question in the world, and many do question that in the world without knowledge. And he told me that he had some spiritual experiences. So I wanted to know. I inquired, and he told me that he was my grandfather, worked in a factory, I believe, that dealt with cotton. And he'd be sometimes covering some shifts for workers that didn't turn up, because my grandfather was the chief of the, he was the management in a sense of that factory. And he told me an account where he would sit down and question in his mind. He would basically ask a question. He would say, if there is a God, you're a power, you exist, then let all the electricity in this factory completely close down right now, and then right there and then the electricity would shut down. And he told me he would be astounded, but then what would happen is doubt would creep in, and he'd say, well, electricity sometimes shuts off anyway, so it could have just been a coincidence. So he tries it again, and he says, let this generator, which is the main generator, the heart of the factory, if there be a God, let it be shut down. And just as he says it, the main generator would just shut down. And he told me about these spiritual experiences, yet my father, he's not a believer. He doesn't have the faith, okay, which you could agree with certain things, but if you don't fully agree, then you don't have the faith. You lack the faith, and it reminded me of the scripture as I was speaking to him, okay, this is the difference between the Lord's chosen, okay, and the regular Israelites out there, the difference of faith, okay. And it reminded me of the scripture, which I'm going to get into, and I gave that account as a testimony of what inspired me to do this lesson, and also to give an example of people that go through experiences. You can go through a spiritual experience, and you cannot give it any thought. You could not recognize the spiritual significance of it. Why? Because it wasn't mixed with faith. Okay, and I've got a couple of scriptures to go on that, man. This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 2. Let's start from 1. It says, let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left of us entering into his rest, and any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. And I've told my father, especially when I'm newly coming out, not so less now, but newly come in, I was very excited, as we all was when we heard this gospel, for the first time, and I wanted to tell each and everybody until I, inevitably learnt that that's not the way. But I spoke to him about it, and he didn't, he wasn't eating it. He wasn't eating that bread, and it's as simple as that. Now, I should take you from a household. I come to set division between father and son. That's what it is. That's in the scriptures. Now it says, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. And that's what it boiled down to. I thought about it. I looked at my father. I said, this man is a Greek. He's just different philosophies. He's bugged out, which I still honor him, but that's the reality of the situation. We've got to be honest in this truth. And, what I put it down to is, when I thought about it, I said, he wasn't given the faith. And that's something that is given. It's a key ingredient. I'm going to show you. Okay, this is Ephesians. First of all, I'm going to show you that this is something that's given. No man can receive anything anyway, unless it be given it from heaven above, from Yahawashi. Now this is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahawashi. Now he went through these experiences, if his account is true, which I believe it to be so. He went through these experiences, but yet he did not appreciate it. Didn't. Now with us, I was talking to a brother about this situation. Okay, and you see, if you have been given faith, the scriptures talk about faith being as a mustard seed. See, it's a gift. Okay, let's get that mustard. Right, let's read this. This is Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. And Yahawashi said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, because they couldn't cast out the devil, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Now when you look at a mustard seed, when you plant it, grows into a massive tree. So faith is something that when you have the seed of faith, when you've been given the gift of faith, it grows. And our faith grows every day in this ministry, man. The Lord puts us through different trials and tribulations and experiences, and you get stronger in faith over time, through the different hardships and the different, miracles and the different way that the Lord saves you and shows you things, beautiful signs. But if you have not been given the faith, then you just can't see it. You can't feel it. You can't know it, and that's the key ingredient, okay, that the elect have, that they've been gifted, because it's a gift that the rest of Israel have not been gifted. Okay, that's why the Lord has his chosen. Okay, and without that gift, without that pass of faith, this is what the scriptures say. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahawashi must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. If you've been given the faith, a gift, you're going to be diligently seeking the Lord, because you had the faith to see these things. Okay? And I want to give an example. Hate using that name, but we'll be able to search it this way. Yep, Luke 17. I'm going to get this account in Luke the 17th chapter, and I'm going to show you something. How important it is, to be able to believe something. Every time Yahawashi healed men, what did he say? He said, thy faith have made thee whole. Okay. Right, this is Luke chapter 17, verse 11. It says, and it came to pass, as he went to Jerusalem, this is talking about Yahawashi, that he passed through the midst of Samaria and Galilee. And he, as he entered into a certain village, there met him 10 men that were lepers, which stood afar off, which means they had leprosy of the skin. There's the melanin in their skin was gone. It was compromised. It says, and they lifted up their voices and said, Yahawashi, Master, have mercy on us. And when he saw them, he said unto them, go show yourselves unto the priests. And it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back and with a loud voice glorified Yahawashi and fell down on his face at his feet, giving him thanks, and he was a Samaritan. And Yahawashi answering said, Were there not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? They are not found that return to give glory to Yahawashi, save the stranger. And he said unto him, Arise, go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. Okay, so there was a difference there, man. You know, and there's different levels to faith. But the key is that you have to be given the gift of faith. That you have to be given that seed of faith from Yahawashi, man. Okay, for you to be able to appreciate and understand the spiritual things that are happening around you. You know, because even understanding this word is spiritual. That's why not everyone can get it. You know, your spiritual eyes and ears must be open, and that can only be happening by the word being mixed with faith. Because loads of people read this word, but it's not mixed with faith. You know, that's why they go to the wisdom of the world. You know, and I wanted to give this quick testimony because, you know, I thought it would be edifying to do this lesson and to give a real world example from my own experiences, you know, about truly understanding that, you know, a man can go through these experiences, you know, something that would seem miraculous to us, which we don't even have to do that kind of stuff because our faith, we're rooted in the faith in Yahawashi, man. But the Lord still does miracles and reveals us things to increase that faith, you know. So, you know, Lord willing, that was edifying the spirit and power of Yahawashi. Just a quick testimony with that, man. I'm going to say, you know, all praise to Yahawashi, bahasham Kadash, okay, you know, and double honor to the apostles and others, a great Muslim rule well, and shalom to the elect, shalom.